In this video, I'm going to share 5 powerful AI agents that can take over critical workflows in your business, saving you time, reducing costs, and giving you the freedom to focus on the big picture. Whether you're a business owner looking to optimize operations or someone who wants to build and sell these services to business, this video is for you. Nick Prue here. I build custom AI solutions that increase your bottom line and save hundreds of hours within your business. So if you're a business owner and you want to automate your operations to drive revenue and create operational leverage, there's a link in the description where you can apply to work with us. And if you're looking for all my resources like the agents I build out, you can find them in my community where we give you the opportunity to work more closely with me and more in-depth tutorials and a community of like-minded individuals on the same path to becoming an expert at AI agents and automating systems. I have a link down below where you can find out more on that. Now, really quick, I just wanted to highlight some of the AI agents that we're actually going to be discussing later in the video and showing you some tutorials and some of the use cases where I've used them in and what they can look like inside of N8N and other no-code platforms. So the first one is just lead qualification agent. Next would be the sales agent, also known as a lead nurturing agent. Then we have the research agent and a personal assistant and content posting agent. And later in this video, we'll be going over the specifics of all these agents and what they look like and how you can build them out for yourself and where you can get the templates. So stick around for that part. So here's the problem. Most businesses, they hit a wall when it's time to grow. So you want to scale, but obviously scaling means hiring more people, spending more money, or sometimes both, often both. Now, AI agents, they fix this. They work 24/7. They never ask for a raise, obviously, and they can handle entire processes, literally replacing entire roles. So, from qualifying leads to managing your inbox to posting content for your business. And the best part is that they don't just save you time, they give you back some focus. So, for business owners, that means less time managing operations and more time working to build and sell these agents as a service. For business owners, that means less time managing operations and more time working on strategy, building relationships, and growing your business. And if you're someone who wants to build and sell these agents as a service, you're stepping into one of the biggest opportunities of the decade. And I can promise you that. Every business needs AI, and you can help deliver it. So, what exactly are AI agents? Well, if you haven't checked out my previous videos going all over highlighting AI agents, to give you a long story short, essentially they're a way more powerful ChatGPT. So they don't just respond to prompts, they actually are taking actions, whatever that may be. So for example, ChatGPT, it might help you draft an email, but you'd still have to actually send it yourself. So an AI agent, it will be able to draft the email, send it, track the response, and follow up automatically, checking the response and determining what to reply with after the fact. So it's essentially like having an employee that is never sleeping. So these agents, they combine powerful AI models like Claude, the new Sonnet, ChatGPT 4.0, o1, Grok, whatever it may be, whatever LLM we're talking about. So it incorporates all these AI models with tools like your email platform and your CRM and maybe even your calendar. So they can understand context and make decisions and handle these tasks seamlessly. So they're much smarter, they're faster, and way more reliable than traditional automations. Let's start with the lead qualification agent. So this one really is a must-have for any business with a sales funnel. So picture this scenario. Let's say you're running an ad campaign that's generating you hundreds of leads, but not all of the leads are going to be equal. Some are ready to buy today, while others are just browsing. Instead of manually sorting through these leads, the lead qualification agent can step in and take care of all of this for you. So you can do many different forms and come in a lot of different shapes. One being it can pull data from your forms, your emails, or even your CRM entries and automatically score these leads based on predefined criteria that are fitting for you. So things like specific budgets, if it's above 5,000, 10,000, whatever that may be. Other things like company size, so filtering on how many employees they might have in their company, and job title. Now, if you don't have all this information given to you already, you can add additional steps within these agents to basically search the internet and find all this information for you. So these can analyze engagement levels, whether they opened your last email or clicked on your ad. So once the sorting's done and the leads are scored, it basically can assign high value leads to your sales team and tags lower value leads for nurturing. Now, there's a lot of different actions that you can take in a lot of different shapes that I've obviously mentioned, but this is just some to give you an idea of what this agent will look like. So another example, maybe you're running a webinar with 1,000 attendees. So the agent, it can analyze who stayed until the end, who asked questions, and who downloaded your handout, your documents, your resources that you're giving out. So within minutes, your team can know exactly who to follow up with first. So quickly, I just wanted to show you one of the agents that I've built out. And I actually uploaded this in a very recent video. So you can check out more on that and how you can actually build this out within that video. And if you want this resource, so I'm going to actually pull it up and show you. Let me find it. I believe it's this one. So if you do want this resource, then check out the link in the description where you can join my community and get access to all of our templates and blueprints. Essentially, we're starting off with an Airtable trigger. And we're using this as our CRM. So I'm not too sure why this is here, but you can input your own CRM here. So if you're using HubSpot, the great thing about NNN, it allows for a lot of different integrations, a lot of app integrations. So I could find HubSpot. I could find Salesforce. So let's say we're using Salesforce. So, we can get a contact, we can create contacts. There's a lot of different CRMs that you can integrate with. Even if it's not offered, you can run HTTP requests and just connect to the API, which is a pretty simple process, but we're going to keep it relatively foundational and simple for this video. So let's say somebody fills out a form, their information, they're going to be dragged into my CRM. So obviously that's how CRM works, is keeping all your leads information nice and tidy. So we're basically looking at this within NNN. Anytime something's added, it's going to be recognized here. So what we want to do is we basically want to take all the information that we're given, so their name, their email, their company website, and their LinkedIn URL. And what we're doing is we're going through a few different routes. This is all qualifying the lead. What we're doing is we're essentially going through LinkedIn. I believe this is LinkedIn at the top. Either way, we're going through LinkedIn, their website, and we're also searching Perplexity. If you're not familiar with Perplexity, it's essentially a LLM that allows you to do real-time research. So you can search things that are actually up to date, because ChatGPT, their new updates, it does allow you to search the internet, but only up to a certain point. And Perplexity is great for finding, the most relevant things towards, real-time searches. So we're finding the website, finding their LinkedIn, and we're basically scraping that. So what we've done here is we've used an API, and we used Rapid API Marketplace for this. So this is just a huge marketplace that offers a wide range of APIs. So it's kind of similar to Appify in a sense. So, you could scrape different things. It's basically just giving you information on these different APIs where you can use them for your automations like I'm doing right here. Then we're cleaning up the data, summarizing it, and we're updating it back into Airtable. So, we're saying things like this company basically automates services. So I'm just using my website, for example. So if I pull up my website, if we were to scrape this, it would say they build custom AI solutions, and give it some more context on all that. For my LinkedIn, it'll basically be doing things, scraping my personal profile. So if I pull it up really quick, let's go to my profile. It'll essentially see that I automate business processes with bespoke AI solutions. And then it can even grab my about section, my featured posts, some posts that have done well, my comments, my experience, where I went to school. You can grab all this information so that you're giving your SDR, or maybe your AI assistant, your AI SDR, whichever it may be at this point. So we're basically giving all the information to our SDR, so they have as much information as possible to put them in a better position to actually close the lead and get strike a deal. So that's the lead qualification agent. And essentially this is ensuring that your team spends their time on the leads that are likely to convert, and ultimately just trying to save you guys hours and driving more revenue. Next up, we have the sales agent. And the sales agent we can look at as your digital closer. So I mentioned earlier you can have an AI SDR. So this is designed to nurture your leads and answer questions and push prospects through your funnel. So let's look at some use cases. If we, you can have this automatically respond to common inquiries. You can have it offer pricing or service availability if any users are asking these questions. You can have it schedule calls directly on your sales team's calendars. You can have it send follow-ups based on your lead's behavior. So for example, sending a case study to someone who clicked on your pricing page. So doing some conditional things like that. And really just reviving dead leads that haven't been contacted in months with fresh personalized outreach. So there's a whole array of different things that you can do. And I have a great example for you guys. So with the sales agent I've built out, so if I back out, so for the sales agent I built out for you guys, so if I back out and I go back to NAN, and if I find date to call lead agent, I believe that's it. We're doing a lot of different tasks, and one of the biggest things we're doing here is calling our leads, and we're using AI and VAPI. The tool is called VAPI to actually call them out. And check out I believe it's my latest video, right before this one, going over how you can actually call your leads using VAPI and using AI to get your leads to book demos or, book an appointment on the calendar with the founder of the company, whatever it may be. There's a lot of different use cases. So you could text leads, you can have this agent email them. So there's a lot of different actions that we can take. Particularly what we're doing here, this is a follow-up of the qualification. So as soon as that qualification is all finished, what we're doing is we're scheduling this automation to run. So we run it every single day at, what time do we run this? 1 p.m. So every day at 1 p.m., it's basically going to call all of our leads. So first it has to search our leads and ensure that they haven't been called yet, that they haven't been contacted and really bothered yet. Then we're searching and summarizing some information. So we're basically combining all the enrichment data that we had, the qualification data from the previous automation, the previous agent. We're taking that information, we're giving it to this agent right here, and we're basically passing it into VAPI. So we're making HTTP requests to call VAPI, and we're saying, hey, I need you to call this person, and this is where we would put the qualification. So we'll usually say something like, this is just an example. So the lead is from Columbus, and they specialize in selling marketing solutions. They went to Ohio State, and they've served 100 plus clients successfully. So in theory, this would call the lead's phone, and it would use this information in specific scenarios. It might not ever come across having to use this information at all, but having these personalizations is very important to close deals. Obviously, as you would figure, the more personable, the better results you're going to be having. So relatively straightforward. We're just calling the lead's phone, and we're trying to get them to book a demo to check out some of our services and the power of what we can do. And that's essentially the sales agent. There's a lot of different ways that it can look like. I figure this would just inspire some ideas for you guys. But with this agent, literally no lead is going to be forgotten, and your sales team, they can just focus on closing the deals instead of chasing prospects. Or even if you don't want your sales team anymore, you can have an AI SDR and have them take care of everything for you. So it's pretty crazy what where automation and these agents have led us today. Guys, they can literally take over entire roles, which is pretty astounding to see. And with that being said, let's move on to the next agent. And this one is a research agent. And this agent, it's all about saving time and making smarter decisions. So instead of assigning employees to spend hours researching customer queries or incoming leads or market trends or whatever else it may be, this agent just automates the entire process. So we're actually in the process of building out a system for a client, and I won't get into too much detail about this for sake of protecting my client. And here's how it works essentially. So when their business receives an input, like a request from a lead, a competitor's name, or even just a topic, like a request from a lead, a competitor's name, or whatever else, the research agent, it'll basically start running, and it's going to query some of those searches, the inputs that it's receiving into the internet. It's going to pull data from a variety of trusted sources, so a bunch of different websites, and it's going to query that information. So, for example, we're taking names from this input. So we'll say Nick Peruski, and maybe my address and the state that I live in, and maybe some other information. So this input that we're receiving, it's going into our system. Our system's then spinning, and it's going to be searching all this information. So Nick Peruski, my address, it's putting it into web pages on the internet. It's querying those searches, and it's basically pulling all the data. So it's scraping the most relevant information and organizing it for you. So we're scraping everything that we're finding, we're putting it back in the system. But it doesn't have to stop there. So once the research is complete, the agent can take specific actions based on the results. So for example, it could maybe compile the data into a report, notify a sales rep with key insights, or even trigger a follow-up email with customized information for the client. So I don't want to show off the agent and what it really looks like. Um, Obviously, just for sake of protecting my client, as I've already said. But let me give you another example. So imagine a lead asks about your services, or let's say they ask about services compared to a competitor's. So instead of taking an employee with researching that competitor, the research agent will just pull details like pricing, features, and recent updates. So it can then compile that information into a concise summary for your sales team or whoever else is needing it, so that they're just ready to respond in seconds like that, not hours. So this agent, it's perfect for businesses that handle high volume of inputs. So it can come in a lot of unique shapes, and I can name 1,000 different use cases for this specific agent and what it can do and the power of it. But it's going to reduce the workload and ensure some consistency, and really just to deliver faster results than any human team could ever manage. And there's a lot to be said about that. But let's not get stuck on this one too long. Next, I wanted to just talk about this personal assistant. Now, this is probably one of my favorite agents that I built out. And I think every business owner needs a personal assistant agent. So you think of this as a digital right-hand person. There's so many different use cases. So just to name a few, you can have it prioritize your emails, where it's flagging the urgent ones and drafting responses for approval for the non-urgent ones. So you can have it schedule meetings, check availability in your calendar or other people's availability if it has access to that, and send calendar invites. So it can prep you for meetings by compiling agendas and summarizing past interactions. And this is something that I'm actually working on with a potential client right now, is working on a system or drafting up a system to prep them for their meetings, which I think will be probably one of my favorite agents to date that I will have ever built out. So there's a lot of other capabilities within this. So it can keep your to-do lists basically updated and send reminders. So let's say you've got a big presentation next week. So the personal assistant agent, it can gather all relevant documents. It can organize them into a folder and emails you a checklist to just make sure that you're ready. So I have this personal agent picture down here below, but let me show you what it actually looks like. Let me back out and up at the top here. So it looks pretty robust. We have a lot of different actions, a lot of different tools connected to this. And this isn't even a fraction of all the capabilities that it can do. So I'll preface that. Essentially what we're doing is it's watching for messages. So I have a Telegram set up on my phone. So anytime I send a message, this can come in different forms as well. Please keep that in mind. So I could text it. I could text my contact on my phone. And let's say this contact is AI agent. So we'll create a contact. Basically, we'll text this. We'll say, hey, can you check my calendar for today? I'll say maybe call out Siri or something. In this specific case, we just use Telegram. So what this would look like is all I would do is go to Telegram. I could send a voice message or I could just text it plainly. And it's basically going to check if it's a voice note. And if it is a voice note, it's going to use AI to convert that into plain text so that we can give it to our agent to do some decision making for us. So it's very useful when it comes to internal usage. Now, we've given it access to our company information. So it has access to my contacts. So a lot of people who I may be talking to. So internal employees or contractors or any clients. So it has access to their emails. And essentially, what the outcome and what the moral of this specific agent is to just do admin tasks for me. So creating calendars, creating contacts, getting contacts and tasks within my project management board to check my team statuses and everything, sending emails, reading my emails. It can search the internet for whatever reason. So if I wanted to, just text the agent and have it give me some information from the internet, summarize it, and, chop up that information in any which way that I would like, what it would do is you would return that information and send a Telegram message back to me, but it would be a voice message. So it would say, hey, Nick, here's the information. Here's what I found. Let me know if you have any other questions. So at the end of the day, it's just performing admin-like tasks for me. So this really just eliminates the daily chaos of managing my inbox and my schedule. And it lets me focus on just the high leverage activities. And it's just another thing that makes my life easier. Next up, we have, let me go back into here. Next up, we have this content posting agent. So I think this will be a marketer's best friend. And it ensures that your brand stays active and consistent online without having to do really any work at all. So some of the use cases, it can schedule posts across platforms, whether that's Instagram, Threads, LinkedIn, X. You can optimize your content for SEO and high engaging practices. Not to mention, it can track your performance metrics and adjust posting strategies based on the results. So remember that these are agents and they can make decisions based off of the information that they're finding. So in particular, I won't get into this too much. This is a real and actual build that we've done for a client in the past. Essentially, we were looking at his website. So he posted event descriptions and event summaries on his website. And we wanted to turn all of those, or the client rather wanted to turn all of those, it was a very expansive and comprehensible list of, a whole array of different things. And he wanted to turn all those into engaging posts on his social media so he didn't have to worry about it at all. So this is fully autonomous now, but essentially what it did, it scraped the entire website. So we just did a one-time scrape. We put all that information into a very organized and distinct Airtable. So what we've done from there is we set up schedules for it to run every single day. So we're taking all that information. So it's basically this agent, or, parts of it are agents, parts of it are automations. There's a distinction between the two, I will say. But essentially, we're having this run every day. But to do that first, we had to search the website. So we did HTTP request to search the website, scrape the information that we're finding, and storing it into the Airtable, where the agent will basically be able to pluck that information and create high engaging posts every single day for his we could just see right here. So we were creating it for X, we were creating it for WordPress, and also LinkedIn. So I won't get into that too much. It's relatively straightforward. We'll be able to use these agents to post on our social medias more effectively. That's all the agents that I really wanted to show off. These are just some of the most common ones and most practical ones that can be used in businesses and have some of the widest use cases, really. So anyways, building these agents, they don't require any coding experience. So I just wanted to show you how you can briefly get started. So one, just identify the workflow that you want to automate. So identify which processes are taking up most of your time and prioritize them. So put them in a sheet. Say if this takes you 5 hours, put that as high priority and something that you want to automate first. So I post resources in my community, just going over how you can identify these and take actionable steps from here on. So from there, you could just use, you could integrate with platforms like your CRM and just connect all these up, connecting your email, your calendar to tools like N8N. Then from there, you're testing them, refining them, and scaling them. So these platforms, they make it very easy to create these agents that deliver real measurable value. Now, these 5 agents, they're just the tip of the iceberg. So whether you're looking to optimize your own business or start offering AI services to clients, well, the opportunities, they're honestly endless right now. So we're at a stage where these agents, I've shown that some of the best functions these agents can take, obviously there's going to be some other niche use cases, but from my experience, these ones can be used in such wide ranges of industries and applied to so many different roles and really do their jobs exceptionally well if they're constructed properly and tested thoroughly. And it's honestly really exciting to see where we'll be in the next few years, and the evolutions that these will take. But anyways, if you guys are looking for the blueprints of all the agents I just went over, then join my community for access to those, and also to work closer with me and get access to requesting any tutorials and system builds and ultimately master AI agents in automation. The link's in the description. And if you're a business owner looking to have my team and I implement these agents in automations within your systems in your business, there's a link down below where you can apply to work with us. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.